Yep. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays for this Tuesday, June 15th, 2021. Hello, what's up, everybody? Hey, hold on a second. Let me go live again because, again, like new modern technology, we just was talking about that. Hey, let me start it over again, man. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays for this Tuesday, June 15th, 2021. I'm your host, Russ Williams. So glad you could be here today, ladies and gentlemen. I know you could have been anywhere in this world today, but you decided to be here with me, and I appreciate that. And more importantly, I appreciate you. So welcome to Transition Tuesdays on this nice, kind of balmy day here in New York City. We have an action-packed show once again. I got a special guest on the line. We're going to give this person in a second. But before we do that, I always like to state my intentions. And my intention is to give you the opportunity to laugh, smile, think, and engage in honest conversations about your life's transition. So that's what we do here on Transition Tuesdays. And speaking of honest conversation, special guest, are you there on the line, sir?
Yes, indeed.
NYC
native.
All right. Absolutely. So here's what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to read off this extensive bio of this young man, my special guest. I'm happy to have him on here today. Now, my special guest began playing basketball growing up in Queens, New York, and was trained by the legendary coach Vincent Smith, older brother of TNT analyst and NBA champ Ken the Jet Smith. Then my special guest obtained a full scholarship to the prestigious prep school, Berkshire School in Massachusetts. Now at Berkshire, my guest was named first team All New England and led his men's basketball team to a New England championship his senior year. Now he wasn't heavily recruited and he had very little Division I offers, so he attended his freshman year at St. Peter's College in Jersey City. And then after a successful freshman campaign, my guest decided to transfer to the University of Rhode Island, where he was named second team All-Atlantic 10 Conference, leading the Rams in scoring in both his junior and senior years, also making appearances in the NIT and the NCAA tournament. Now, this young man here was voted by Dick Vitale, as the nation's top 15 small forwards in the country. Now, I know we got a lot of ballers on hand. I know a lot of guys don't have these credentials like this young man here, but I'll continue on, man. Now, his professional career provided him opportunities to play in the NBA for the Chicago Bulls and the Denver Nuggets, and he had a long, productive, and a successful playing career playing professionally overseas. And I'm going to list all these countries this young man played in. He played in Italy, France, Spain, Cyprus, Israel, Switzerland, Venezuela, Taiwan, Dominican Republic, and Turkey, just to name a few. Now, my guest has his bachelor's degree from the University of Rhode Island in early childhood development and a minor in African American history. And he received, so not only this guy was a baller on the court, but off the court, he received the President's Award for Superior Academic Achievement in African American History. And finally, last but not least, my guest is currently a franchise partner owner of 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 Orangetheory Fitness Studios in the Georgia region. And he's been with the company well over a decade, and he's one of the original coaches there. And I want to stress this as well. I want to go over this young man's personal mission statement. Now, he says, I am a prime example of how hard work and an unbelievable work ethic can translate into success on and off the court. So, ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army, please help me welcome my Queen's brother, Mr. Abdul Fox, to Transition Tuesdays. Mr. Fox, how are you, sir? I gotta play this applause music for you. Hold on. I gotta get this applause for you. What's good, Mr. Fox? What's good?
And the one thing you didn't add is the backstory, man. I sat the bench at St. John's Prep.
Oh.
He was a star at McClancy.
I
watched you in the back, in the corner watching you. And what's the big fella that went to St. Joe's with you?
Marlon Miller. Marlon Miller.
I watched you as a sophomore as I sat.
Really? Oh, man.
Yeah, man.
All right, we're going to talk about that. Oh, okay. Yeah, you can exclude that from the bio, with me and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So oh, that's cool, man. I got my man Jason Benton, my guys on here. What's up, Jason? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. We also got the Voice of the Jaspers, men's and women's. We got He Does podcast. This guy does everything, man. The Pick and Pop podcast. We got my man Chris, Uncle Smooth, Chris B. Williams joining us as well, man. Oh, man. Yes, Smoothie in the
Philly Cats.
Yes, that's right, Philly Cats. Now, Fox, man, I'm glad to have you, man. Still a couple minutes from you, man. I really appreciate having you. So, what I do is I like to play music for my guests, and I'm gonna play this tune for you, Fox, man. See if you can recognize this tune. You being a Queens cat and all. I'm gonna play this for you. See if you can recognize this little song here. So let me rock this for you real quick and get your response. Okay, hold on a second. Tell me if you can hear it. Can you hear that?
That's the Bismarck. Hold on.
Almost.
Hold on.
You love to hear the story again and again of how it all got started.
The bridge. Oh my God. Yes.
What's funny, Russ? I was just home visiting my mom. And I ran from Astoria all the way to Queensbridge and just kind of took some pictures and just kind of reminiscing of that tournament they used to hold in the bridge. So I ran right through that neighborhood last week. That's just a funny story.
Did you really? Wow. There you go.
Yes,
I must have knew that, man. And now, what part of Queens are you from there, Fox?
Astoria was considered Marine Terrace.
Okay.
Marine Terrace. There's Astoria Projects, there's Ravenswood, and then there's Queensbridge. I'm the last neighborhood at the end that nobody really knows even exists.
Really?
And that's where I'm from. Yes,
wow, man. The king was back. All right. Let me play this other song. I got another song for you too, man. Fox, I'm going to play this song for you too. Now, this was a song that I think everybody in Queens caught feelings over. I know I did. So let me just play this real quick. Tell me if you can hear it.
Come on, Come on.
Oh.
Now, Russ, I'm going to add on to that.
Okay, what you got?
You know I went to St. Peter's my freshman year. He was a senior.
Kenny Parker.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Kenny Parker, he gets much darker.
Yes, sir.
That's right. Wow. Man, that is ironic with that. Hey, so tell me about it, Fox, man. When you first heard that song, like The Bridge Is Over, like how did you feel as a person, living in Queens when that came out, man, with KRS-One and Boogie Down Productions? How did you feel about that?
You don't really understand, back then you were embraced in the history of rap, so you don't really understand how important Bibles was and just being able to represent your hood.
Right.
And, we always felt like it was a jab to Queens, but when you kind of look back on KRS and his philosophy and what he was trying to accomplish as an artist, to me, you gotta respect both sides. You gotta respect both sides.
That's true. And a lot of people don't even know KRS-One. He created that beat because in the first song, The Bridge, Marley Marl was just talking about, they didn't say where hip hop originated from. But you got KRS-One, he just flamed it up and he just made up the story like a Jordan type of deal, you know what I mean? When Jordan played, Yeah, which is it's just crazy, man, the history of that. Man. But that is fun. That's right, you did play with Kenny Parker, man.
Yeah, man. And what's her name? She was a sophomore, Heather B.
Heather B, that's right.
Yeah, it was at the,
she
was freestyling and rapping. We was clowning like, you ain't going to be a rapper. And, she did her thing.
Wow. And she's still doing her thing too, man. Yep, she's on Sirius XM. Yep.
Yeah. I follow her. Yes, I do.
Yes. Wow, that is crazy, man. So you had that history right there. So you was a freshman at the time at St. Peter's, right?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
I had my roommate was Antoine Allen. He had fractured his, I think fractured his hip, so he was redshirted that year. So
Mm-hmm.
technically, I was the only freshman on that squad. You know, everyone else was upperclassmen.
Man, okay.
No, we had a Yango Merriman. I think he was redshirted as well.
Right. Okay. Cool. We're gonna talk about St. Peter's and other things too. Yeah, absolutely, man. No doubt. So, hey, man, Fox, I always ask everybody, to start off the questions like, how are you and your family doing in these three pandemics we currently have? We got COVID, we got the economy, and we got social injustice in the United States. So, how are you doing in these three pandemics currently?
It's been challenging. Mom had a couple of health issues, a couple of hiccups, so trying to navigate that.
Okay.
With her being that age bracket where, was considered a threat to catch the virus.
Yeah.
She had to spend a little time in the house and just trying to navigate who comes in, who comes out.
Right.
Was a bit challenging, but we're a family big on faith, so we just try to roll with that. Social injustice probably has been the toughest for me. Maybe at my young age, I kind of wasn't aware of some of the history that was not really told to me.
Right. Absolutely.
Now I'm at an age, where I'm, really toning in on it, and it's been sort of a smack to the face at the things I didn't know or wasn't even told about.
Yeah.
So it's been challenging trying to, still not be positive, but just kind of look in the direction of, okay, what's the next step? To try to be either a beacon or be a resource to try to, spread a little of that knowledge to people who may not even consider taking the time to understand, our plight as an African American or black man or black woman in this world.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, no doubt about that, man. Yeah, it's been tough, these three pandemics, but no, we still here, man, which is a great thing, man. Because I know, maybe there's a couple of people who passed away that I played against. I mean, you had Jonathan Duck who went to Iona. I know he passed. I know my man. Remember Super Dave Edwards who went to Andrew Jackson? He went to Georgetown.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Fast talking, fast dribbling.
Yep. Yeah, he passed, and you had Lee Green too. So these people I played against and stuff. So
it's funny you say Lee Green. That's who I won the New England championship against. He was in Chester Academy.
Really?
Outlaw.
Wow. Man.
Beat them in the New England championship game.
Man, the Fox had to step up. I know Fox. Man. I know Fox had stats. I know he had stats that game. I know he did. Hey, so Fox, man, Abdul, man, how was it growing up in Queens, New York, man? And how was it growing up? Did you come from a small, big family? And who introduced you to playing basketball as well?
It's funny, most people may not know Carol O'Connell. She used to coach the Outlaws. Then the Outlaws merged with Vincent Smith, Pierre, Kevin Jackson.
Right.
And we became Aim High.
Gotcha. Okay.
So the challenge I had, I was from Marine Terrace. The majority of the players from the Outlaws from Astoria Projects to Queensbridge. So I was the outside kid. But a funny story, I played Part 1 of football first. I broke my wrist. And my parents said, listen, you can't play football no more. So I never even picked up a basketball to the age 14.
Really? That late?
That late. I thought I was going to be the next Eric Dickerson. I had the number 29. I had the goggles on. I had the donut around the neck. I thought I was going to be the next Eric Dickerson. So
really?
His helmet hit my wrist, broke my wrist. My dad said, yo, no more.
No more.
So a little Italian kid in my junior high school said, hey, can you come play with me on my church team? I played in gym class. I had a little jump shot, I think, but I never really was taught the game. It was just gym class.
Right.
I went and tried out for his little, church league. I made that team. And then we played the Outlaws. And we just got smacked. And she was like, hey, can you come try out for my team? And then I tried out for her team, and then she took me under a wing, man, took me to the park, worked with my left hand, my right hand, and then she introduced me up the ladder to Vincent Smith, Pierre, Kevin Jackson, and that whole kind of family network right there, they developed me. So I never really played for the guys on Riverside because I wasn't that good back then.
Right, yeah. You just started like a late bloomer. You talk about a late bloomer.
So crazy. And then she paid for me to go to St. John's.
Wow.
Yeah, man. And that lady was incredible.
Oh, is she still with us today or no?
No, she passed away a few years back.
Okay.
A few years back. Oh. Yeah, man. But and she was a PO, a parole officer. Little white Irish lady drove like a GT, picked us up in the hood, dropped us off in the hood, and bought me sneakers. And I mean, I to this day, that was the pinnacle of me starting basketball. And she's trying to pass me up the line,
right?
And help everyone helped develop me as a player.
Man, That is a cool story, man. You just never know, man. Hey Fox, I never knew you were a late bloomer like that, man. I mean, your game definitely is. Yeah, you must have.
I was a diehard Knicks fan. I hated basketball. I was like, used to turn the TV to basketball instead of football. So I grew up hating basketball.
Man,
I started playing it and took off from there.
Man, and were you a running back like Dickinson too?
Yeah, I thought I was until I got hit.
Hey, what did Mike Tyson say? Everybody got a plan until you get hit, right?
Yo, crazy, man.
Oh man.
No Pop Warner, man.
Pop Warner, man. I know Chris is on there because I know Smooth. He used to always tell me like football was his first love as well. Yep.
Yeah, man, I got them old pictures somewhere at Mom's house. You know she keep everything.
Oh yeah, you got to get those and post those, Fox. I got to see this. I got to see this, man. He had probably the highest stepping like Dickinson too. You know what I mean?
Yo, that's funny, man.
Oh man, that is cool. So you went to St. John's Prep. So you said your when I was a senior, you were a sophomore. You said or?
Yeah, I think Rand Fishburne was the big drawer.
Yes.
My junior high school went to the 9th grade, so I never played freshman basketball. I just played in gym class.
Hey,
right. I played on the Outlaws team, and I had a little talent. So she said, hey, she paid for me to go to St. John's. Mm-hmm. So I was there as a sophomore, really introduced to what JV was, varsity was. I didn't even know what that was.
Right, man.
Just playing with the Outlaws was, where it was at.
Right.
And Mr. Gatto was a coach there, and everything was Ram.
Yep.
And I sat the bench on JV. They had this other kid, Darryl Flanagan, that was pretty good.
Okay.
And I just sat the bench on JV. Not 18 minutes, like the 2 minutes when your peeps is clowning when you get in the game. I was that dude.
You was that dude, Fox?
I was that dude. Like, put Fox in, because all my boys, I could live right down the street from St. John's Prep. So
right.
Kids from the hood came to see me play. I sat the bench on JV.
Oh,
it's hilarious, man.
That is funny, man. So how'd you transfer to Berkshire? How did that take place?
What happened was I was supposed to go away to prep school. I had an incident at St. John's Prep. Someone broke into my locker and was wearing my Boys of Yesteryear shirt. One of the janitor people. So young kid, Barbie. We had a cuss and we went back and forth cursing. Dude, that's my shirt, Mo. It's not your shirt. I was like, you didn't play in that tournament, so I kind of cursed them out.
Right.
And the next day, they bring me into the dean of students and suspended me. No questions asked. Questions asked.
Hey, was the dean of students Mr. Collins?
Yes, sir.
Because I worked with Johnson's for a number of years, and I did the rings for St. John's Prep. And I remember Mr. Collins being the dean of students. So I could imagine how that conversation went, because I know how Mr. Collins was.
No questions asked, Russ. Was my point of view was wrong, his point of view?
Yep.
You used the profanity, just got suspended.
Yep.
They did a background check to all my teachers. I was a good student. I wasn't a rowdy kid.
Right.
I just had a little mouth because the dude had on my shirt.
Yep.
So I didn't get into prep school that year. I went to double back to St. John's. They said, we don't have a spot for you.
Whoa. Mm-hmm. Man.
So I ended up going to LIC for 1 year.
You went to LIC, okay. Gotcha.
Not the best environment.
Right.
Not the worst environment, but now when everybody was junior high school with, not a bad kid. I'm just hanging out. I ain't doing nothing crazy, but I am now playing basketball at a decent level. Right. But I wanted to get out. I knew I wanted to get out. So I kept asking Vince, can you get me back into prep school? Jack Curran camp. Mm-hmm. The coach at Berkshire was a Malloy alum.
Oh, okay.
So he was coming to Jack Curran camp to recruit 1 or 2 players. Mm-hmm. So that year, he came to see me play another kid named Shay Allen King. I don't know if you know Titus Stewart that went to Malloy.
Yep.
He was already there, and Bobby Moran had already went to Berkshire.
Bobby Moran, yes.
Kids going to Berkshire. So he watched me play that summer camp at Jack Curran's, and they offered me a full ride, and I took it.
Man. and with that, you had a champion. You won a New England championship, right? And you were doing your thing.
My junior year, I was average. I probably played. I came off the bench my junior year in Berkshire. Then the next year, I grew to 6'6", 6'5".
Right.
I could handle the ball because I was always a guard.
Yep.
Between working on that summer, my senior year, I just took off.
Now, how tall were you before you grew to be 6'6"? Like, were you 5 something?
Yeah, I was a 1-2 back then.
Wow.
then all of a sudden, my dad was 6'5", 6'6", so all of a sudden I got his height. I could handle the ball a little bit, and you know, just working on a skill set continuously, you know, throughout my 3-4 years in college, and you know, I developed into, you know, a pretty good talent. But,
absolutely, man, oh man. So you know, like I didn't get a chance to mention everybody. So you excelled, you excelled not only at Berkshire, you excelled in basketball, cross country, and track and field. So do you think like being a runner helped you excel on the basketball court as well? Did you have like an distinct advantage? It seemed like you probably did on that one.
I got it. Well, first things first, our coach made us run cross country to get in shape for basketball. I never even knew what the hell cross country was. From Queens, New York. It was like that in lacrosse. I was like, what are these? What do you think we're just going to run for 30, 40 minutes? This ain't a sport.
Right.
But we did that to get in shape, and it kind of translated, you know, it's funny, my freshman year in St. Peter's, I have to fast forward, you know, the preseason and conditioning.
Right. Oh, boy.
We had a senior captain. This is when we get to my St. Peter's stories, you'll understand the backstory. We had a senior captain that was winning all the preseason, you know, conditioning races.
Yep.
Bro, I ran cross country and track. I'm dusting this cat. He didn't keep up with me. So that created a little friction that I didn't really know existed at that level. You know, I just was happy to play Division I.
Absolutely.
So I had the senior captain eyeing me like, yo, who's this freshman winning all the preseason conditioning runs? I ran track and cross country, yo.
Right. Right.
Do.
Yeah.
So it kind of helped, and you know, it's more of a mindset in that cross country that I think, you know, as I look back, probably really helped me just as a player, because it's just you against you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, man. So you excelled there, and you didn't have a lot of scholarships. So like St. Peter's, those are one of the schools that stuck with you. They offered you the scholarship, right?
I'm gonna drop a gem on you.
You gonna drop a gem on Transition Tuesdays? All right, what you got there, Fox?
You know who recruited me hard? Springfield College. You know who was the point guard?
My boy Derek Amelbert.
There you go. There you go.
Really?
Took a visit, hung out with him, loved it, but I was like, they wasn't giving me a lot, you know, paper. It was Division II. I was like, man, I know I'm Division I.
Right.
And then St. Peter's came out of nowhere, and the last minute is like, hey, they got a referral from another coach that said, hey, he's a real good player. I don't really know if they try to follow me, but I took it. I took it and ran with it.
You took it and ran with it. So my boy Derek Amelbert. Shout out to Derek Amelbert, man. Matter of fact,
how crazy is that?
That is crazy, man. I you know what, Fox? I just posted last week. I went to Powell Memorial first before I went to McClancy. Powell Memorial closed. I played on the freshman team. We bought jackets, and I pulled out my jacket. I found my jacket all these years.
Wow.
And I posted it. So here we had Derek Amelbert. Shout out to you, D. He can still fit his jacket, which is crazy. That's crazy. I tried putting on one sleeve, Fox. I almost tore the whole thing off.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Wow. Shout out to Derek Amelbert. Oh, man, that is cool, man. That's funny.
Man, yeah. Man. So I watched him too, you know, that year I was in St. John. So I knew who he was.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and he was killing it too. He killed it at Springfield too, man. He did his thing. Him and Ramses Kelly. Yeah, man, those two cats. Man. All right, so St. Peter's. I'm going to concentrate on St. Peter's because people got to understand. My man Fox turned it out that one year, this freshman year. And did you get Rookie of the Year?
Nah, Danny Doyle. I own him.
Oh, Danny Doyle. Yep. Come on.
Yep, you know I was eyeing that too. But
I know.
It was just fueling the fire, yo.
I know. And now I talked to you years later after that, Fox, when you transferred to Rhode Island. I think we had a conversation years later. Could you possibly share the story, like why you transferred from St. Peter's because of some nonsense that was going on? Besides that, you know, yep.
It was tough for me. I was just happy to go Division I.
Right.
You know, I didn't really understand the New Jersey, New York rift because I really didn't be playing basketball that long.
Yeah.
Jasper Walker, you know, St. Anthony's, big school, big this, big that. You know, I'm a freshman. Because I was being that senior in all those events, I had some animosity towards. He had some animosity towards me. I ended up taking his senior two-guard spot as a freshman.
Wow, with Jasper Walker, yeah, man. Oh man.
So then I had a little beef with him, and then Chuck Valderrano was all conference, but he was an ass.
Right. I've heard some stories. Yep.
He was cocky. You know, couple of times, you know, I had more points than him in the game. I don't know. Them cats was taking my sneakers on the road.
What?
My freshman year, just hectic.
They was
Like,
taking.
I had to come.
They was taking your. They were taking your kicks on the road. You saying, Fox?
It was a lot of drama that I didn't understand why.
Right.
My dad came to stay with me for like a week on campus, you know, to try to make sure, listen, don't mess with my son. You mess with my son, there's gonna be problems.
Right.
And then Ted Fiore was just visually just vicious coach on profanity. And not something that I was really responsive to.
Right.
It was just very verbal abusive. Very verbally abusive. So, you know, after a decent freshman year, I was like, listen, between Chuck, Jasper, Demetrius Dudley I had beef with, I was just like, yo, I need to get out of here.
God damn, it's like a gang up, man.
Yeah, man. You know, then I was bagging a few chicks, so I had to, you know, like, yo, I was hooping. I had a Filipino chick, I had a black chick. I was like, yo, why everybody hating on me? Yo, in college, I got a couple of chicks. So I don't drink. I didn't drink then.
Right.
I wasn't even, you know, I wasn't smoking. I don't drink. I was just, everything was basketball.
Right.
And having a good time.
Right.
Because I was the Berkshire, I sat in front of the class. I still wore a shirt and tie to school, so they was like, yo, who is this cat? I was just like, I don't know. This is what I was used to at Berkshire. I had good study habits based on what I learned in prep school.
Right.
But between the coaches and the players, I was like, yo, Pops, I got to get up out of here, yo.
Man.
Now, this is where it gets interesting. The cat I grew up with playing at Jack Curry camp, he was trying to walk on at Fordham.
Okay.
I was tight with Jarvis Prelude.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Fordham back then, they started getting their schedule up. They played Georgia Tech. They was in the NIT.
Yep.
So I was like, yo, I'm going to just go rock at Fordham because, you know, parents get to see me play.
Yep.
The athletic director said, if you go to Fordham, we're going to file an NCAA investigation. If there's any tampering, you could possibly lose a year.
What?
Because I had a pair of sneakers and a Fordham hoodie.
Wow. So they was just trying to stick it to you.
You know how we exchanged sneakers? We had Nikes, they had Converse,
yeah.
They had nice little maroon color. I was like, yo, I'll give you some Nikes, give you some Cons, and I had a hoodie.
Right. Wow. So they was good.
They blocked me from going to Fordham.
So they were trying to stick it to you, in other words, right? Jesus.
They want me to stay in conference, because then they had to explain to the alumni how you lose this kid. You know,
right.
Based on, you know, some of success I had at freshman year.
Right. Wow. I never knew that.
Yeah, I was at the Fordham, yo. I was ready to rock with John Prelude. Fred Herzog. I was like, yo, let's get it.
Yep. Mike Rice, I think, was there. Yep.
I got nervous. I knew I didn't do nothing, but you know, you don't know back then. You know, I never even, ain't no transfer portal or nothing like that back then.
Right, right. I know, right? Man, that's great. So how did Rhode Island come into play with that?
I went to Providence College basketball camp in high school.
Okay.
I was kicking it with Abdul Fox. There was only two campers, high school campers, that were playing, me and Carl Beckett.
Carl Beckett, St. John's, right?
Carl Beckett.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But again, I went to prep school. No one knew who I was. So Rick Barnes comes up to me. This is why I torch Providence every time I play. Rick Barnes comes to me and says, hey, I see you know, one of the few campers playing, you know, in the college pickup games, you know, what's your background? Oh, I go to Berkshire. So they did a background check on me. Ain't no background check on me. I wasn't that good.
Right.
They come back to me and say, we're not going to recruit you because the reason is they say you're a problem child.
Wow.
Told me to my face.
Barnes, right.
Rick Barnes. So ever since then, when we played Providence, I used to torch, like, hey, I wish I was a Friar now. That's what I would tell him every time. I apologize, but Rob Phelps, whoever was guarding me, I ain't care. Y'all had to get business. Because I just was throwing in for what that man told me, because I wasn't no Dapper Dan. I was nothing.
Right.
I was going into my senior year Berkshire.
Right.
That's when I blossomed, but they had no footage on me.
Right. Right. They had no proof. They had no receipts on you, right? They had nothing.
Nothing. But Abdul Fox knew I was good. He knew the assistant coach at Rhode Island.
Okay. He
picked up the phone, called the coach, said, hey, I got this kid that wants to transfer, blah, blah, blah. If he's serious, have him send his transcript. I'll skin him. Rhode Island didn't recruit me. Abdul Fox picked up the phone and called him.
Wow. Man.
I sent my transcript. Tom Kachowski gave me a great review. My athletic director reneged and said, listen, the kid's going to be a great player. He kind of gave me a good review, not wanting me to go to Fordham.
Yep.
and Rhode Island took the risk, but then them cats didn't recruit me.
Wow. Shamson Dean got you. That's man. That's another that's another Transition Tuesdays exclusive. Man, oh wow. Man. Man, that is crazy. Man. So okay, so let's talk Rhode Island. So who was your coach? Was it Al Skinner was there at the time?
Al Skinner was my coach. Bill Cohen, who's now the coach at Northeastern, was my third assistant. Do the videotapes to break down film.
Right. Wow, look at him now, huh? Wow.
Right? Rocking in Northeastern.
Man. So talk to me about your days there. So, how was your career there at Rhode Island, the Rams? How'd you do there?
Again, another challenge, but I ain't got no more chess moves. I can't transfer again.
Yep. Right.
I wasn't Al Skinner's recruit. The starting two guard went to Oak Hill Academy. So when I was looking at where to go to school, I was like, hey, he's going to be a freshman. I'm going to sit out with both we sophomores. And I'm thinking, hey, we just can compete for the position. But nah, I wasn't Al's recruit.
Right. Oh, yeah, I know that feeling. Fox.
I'm playing behind the kid at Oak Hill. And it is what it is. I ain't got no qualms. I'm coming off the bench. I'm coming off the bench with Jason Alexander. Either one, I'm the two. We put in work.
Right.
And I just took that road. I never even started until I was a senior, Russ.
Really?
That second team all conference? I came off the bench.
You came off the bench?
Was ninth on the team in minutes played.
Man. So when you got it,
I had no more chess moves.
Right. Man.
So I played 15 minutes. It was the hardest 15 minutes I could.
Right.
But I put the reps in. So when you get in the game, the coach said, hey, swing it around a few times. Russ, when that shit came around.
It was going up.
Because I knew my minutes was limited, but I knew I put in the reps. I knew I got 500 up. I knew I was in the gym, so I didn't hesitate. So, when I say second team, first team was Eddie Jones, Aaron McKee, Marcus Camby, and Yinka Dari.
What? That was first team.
That was first team.
And then you made second. Man, do you remember who was on that second team?
It was me. Might have been Rick Brunson. Might have been Harry Moore from St. Bonnie's.
St. Bonnie's, yeah.
And I can't remember who else.
Wow.
I can't remember else.
And my man
but
Fox.
I was the only kid on second team that didn't start. I was like, I'm just coming off the bench.
Man, now, did you led your team in scoring your junior year too off the bench?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That is nuts, man.
It was a high gun, man. But
man.
That's all the shit I had. So
right.
No different.
Man. So now, when you went to the NCAA, did you go your junior year or your senior year?
I went to the NRT my sophomore year. That's when I came off the bench with Jason.
Okay.
We went on. We beat Vanderbilt with Ronnie McMahon and the kid who transferred from Duke, McCarthy or something like that. We played Boston College when they had Abrams and what's the kid Howard Isley.
Yes.
We beat them.
Yes.
So they sent us to Utah, and the altitude. The second quarter we just ran out of gas.
Yeah.
That next game would have been at the Garden. So that was my sophomore year. My junior year, when I led them in scoring, that's when we went to the tournament. We beat Purdue and lost to North Carolina the year Chris Webber called that timeout.
Oh wow, that's right. Okay,
yeah.
Man.
With big dogs. But this is where I didn't really understand how an African American coach really couldn't uplift me. Your man did the game. Billy Packard did the game.
Right.
He made a comment saying, "Hey, it's the NCAA tournament. There's no time to have your best player come off the bench." That following year at the senior banquet, Al makes a reference to that, saying, "Well, I say when he goes in out again." I said, "Coach, why are you coming at me?"
Right.
I say it.
Right.
Packard said it.
Right.
So my AD comes to me, "Hey man, I don't know if you don't know, but the coach is somewhat jealous of you because it's based on how you play, whether they win a game, not really his X or O's." I'm like, "Yo, dude, what are you talking about? Yo, I'm an average. I'm thinking my coach is in my back corner."
Right.
It goes back to he wouldn't recruit me. I don't know what the riff was. After my senior year, Russ, I've never been back to Rhode Island. I was like, "Yo, I'm out."
Really? You never been back there, Fox?
I knew a couple of players that I rock with. I was like, "Son, I can't mess with you." He turned down my offer to Portsmouth without telling me.
Whoa,
So I had to
man.
call Portsmouth back, like, hey, it's some miscommunication. My head coach didn't really know I wanted. He's like, well, you got Chicago. All the best players go to Chicago. I said, listen, I need to get as much. That's not your decision to make.
That's true.
Whether or not I go to Portsmouth, that should be on me.
Right,
I
right.
didn't even go to the senior banquet, Russ.
Whoa, man. And so you're saying, Fox, have you ever been back to Rhode Island ever since for maybe alumni stuff?
I go back to catch up with some players, Kyle Ivy Jones, Carl Sisselin. We try to, every once in a while we try to get together, go to the Providence game and reconnect. But I reconnect with players. I'm tight with Bill because he was the third assistant. And he was rebounding for me, painting that picture. Hey man, you just gotta work with what you got. So me and him are still tight.
So no, they haven't reached out to you to be like, do they have like a Rhode Island Hall of Fame?
You know what? If I get the call, I get the call. I ain't sweating it.
Wow.
I broke 1,000 in 3 years.
Oh. Come on, man. That's Hall of Fame.
Two-time All Conference in 2 years. I just was like, all right. It is what it is.
Overseas player. Nah, man. Fox, you're going to get the call. Come on, man. Now, 3 years at G.
Crazy.
Come on.
Katino Mobley was a freshman when I was a senior.
Yeah, that's Smooth boy. Yep.
I took care of Cat the whole year. He dislocated his hip playing the pickup game, so he sat out that year. So I took care of him. Then Lamar Odom came after. Alumni called me, hey, can you get him? There's a little trouble. He's got a rental car. Can you come back? So all those cats, Tyson Wheeler, I all mentored them behind the scenes.
Wow.
Just because that's what we do.
Yeah. And so with that being said, Fox, you should definitely get a call to be in the Hall of Fame from Rhode Island. Come on, man. That's nuts.
Yeah, man. It's all good, man.
Wow.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Man. Hey, so Fox, couple of questions on this, on like transition, since you're on Transition Tuesdays, man. How was the transition from playing in the MAC conference to playing in the A10? That's the first one. And then the second one, I want to know about your transition from playing, collegiate ball to playing professionally all those years overseas. So let's take the MAC and the A10 transition first.
So, you know what? I think the MAC was at a high level.
Yeah.
LaSalle was, Lionel Simmons was at LaSalle.
Yep.
What's the little guard?
Randy Woods.
Left-handed. Yeah, he was there, so I think the MAC was up and coming. I didn't really understand the levels of, A10, ACC until I really got to the A10. I was like, oh, okay.
Right.
This is a level up.
Yep, a little different.
I need to get in the gym a bit more. As a freshman, I have my good games, I have my bad games, typically freshman year. But even Steve Worthy, Rutgers, Blunt, and St. Joe's at the 2 guard, I was like, this was a nightmare every night.
Yep.
On guard.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So it just made me work harder, try to develop a skill set. I first got on the court by playing defense and just doing the hustle plays. Then I got the jump shot going, and I started going to the hole. So I had to kind of plan each year to try to get better. And the goal was eventually to be all conference, but it was definitely an adjustment. I didn't really know until I got my feet in it.
Right.
That I really leveled up. Like I didn't really know. Okay, MAC A10. I didn't know. I just wanted to go Division I.
Right.
When I got there, I got a little taste of like, okay, you ain't really haven't arrived yet.
Man.
But your man was at Florida. What's the big white dude? Played with Utah. Daniel Sullivan was at Florida.
Yes, he was there. Yep.
It was coming up.
Yep.
The coach of the Nuggets, Mike Malone, was at Loyola.
Yep.
So it was coming up where okay. And then you had Keith Bullock and Manhattan.
Yeah.
Manhattan was doing their thing, doing their thing too. And then Iona had Sean Green.
Yep.
So it was days where you had your problems in the MAC as well. I have to say.
That's true. I tell people the story all the time with Sean Green. Hopefully he's listening. I know he's on IG a lot. But I've never seen this happen before. I remember he went up for a dunk and blew a bubble. I was like, yo, who does that, man? He's getting up so high. I said, what?
He was so deceptive. Too.
Yes. Yep.
And big body size, one of your, for me, a big guard with that type of girth.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, this cat, I got to guard him today.
I know, right? That is so true, man. What about the transition from collegiate to playing professionally overseas for you? How was that transition?
You know what? I chased. If I had to do it over, I don't know if I would have chased the CBA The first 2-3 years, you know, the business side really kind of showed. You know, when you're a rookie, you really don't have a lot of clout. You got to kind of make your way. I would like to earn a little bit more financial stability as I chase the dream. You know, I didn't really have no one kind of helping me navigate. Like coach was coach, and you know. So it was tough learning to be a professional. You know, I still wanted to hit the club, and you know, I understand the 5 a.m. I didn't understand that. I understand that. You know, I did my 1 or 2 practices a day, and I thought that was what it was to be a professional. It probably wasn't until my 3rd year out that I really understood. Okay, summer is to work on weaknesses, not no shade of NY, not the rucker, not this, not that. My summer is to work on my weaknesses. I played in 1 summer league. That was the Nike. That was it. Everything else was in the gym, left hand, right hand. You know, where you're not efficient, what can you get better at? Then I started to really tone in, and you know, things got progressed quickly at that next level where, you know, I was getting a decent check and I was, you know, sustaining the job a whole year.
Absolutely.
No issues.
Yeah. Who do you think, Fox, who was the toughest player you ever played against? Like one of these players who just gave you the business every time. Well, first of all, was there such a player against my man Fox? I don't know. Probably not, but maybe.
Coming up in Queens, they called him, you know, Cap got nicknames. I don't even know. Ty Davis was a problem to guard. I don't know. Ty Boogie, Ty Davis. He was just very deceptive and hard to guard. Obviously, you know, we played Malloy and Kenny gave us probably 30 and 3/4. Like, okay.
I know, right? Kenny Anderson.
So you kind of, what can you do? It was Kenny. You expected that,
right?
But you know, I had some tough collegiate battles. You know, the 2-guard spot, it was always. You know, David Vanderpool was at St. Bonaventure. You know, Sandu came through to St. Bonaventure. It was always a tough guard. But I really took pride on playing both ends. And, you know, if I had 20, you couldn't have 20. You had to have 15.
Right.
Like, I just really took pride in trying to play both ends. But, you know, Eddie Jones and Aaron McKee probably handed me some L's plenty of nights. I hated UMass. I hated Calipari. I tried to destroy them. So my toughest opponents was probably Aaron McKee and Eddie Jones at Temple.
Okay, gotcha. Who was the best player you think you ever played against?
Man, Big Dog gave us 36.
Yeah.
You didn't really know inside, outside post, dunk, let me give you this. But he really didn't have a lot of support, so we were able to kind of win that game. But that was my eye opener. Like, and then that next year, he just took over collegiate basketball.
That's right. When they lost to Duke, right? That championship game. Right? Was that? Yeah.
Yeah. So and then you know Rodney Rogers, Tim Duncan, I played when he was at Wake Forest. They weren't really my position, but my position probably would be Glenn Robinson and Randolph Childress was just a problem.
Ooh, Randolph Childress too. Yes.
Dude, and I'm tall. He too low to the ground. I'm trying to guard it. I had to guard him in Italy too. Like, come on, bro. All the stuff you got, and you like 6'2". Oh, it's a problem.
Man, that is funny, man. That is cool. But man, I'm gonna go back to what Chris said. Yes, sir. He said he wanted to be Tony Dorsett. So he talked about. So that's who Chris wanted. That's who Smooth wanted to be, Tony Dorsett.
And the cats I grew up with, they've been playing, and I really didn't understand through the legs and running. I was like, yo. So when I played with the Outlaws, I was just immersed in their skill set because I just played a gym class.
Right.
We had a cat, Mark Morris, ended up going to Tulsa, and we called him Spud. He was just incredible. And I was just like, yo, if I could ever be that good.
Yeah.
And I just, was observant, and I had a pretty good skill set. When you told me something, I was able to kind of implement it and learn fast that way.
Yeah.
And, I just worked on the craft, dude. And honestly, I had a younger brother came behind me, went to Manhattan.
That's right.
He didn't really have a successful career because he was talented. He didn't have the work ethic combined with the talent because he started running behind me when he was 3 or 4. So when he had that first injury, he didn't know what it was to work out of that and get back to a level because he was talented.
Right. Hey, what do you think, Fox? I mean, because again, like you were one of the hardest workers that I've seen, man. Where did that hard working gene come from, man? Did that come from somewhere?
My dad wasn't really. Wasn't a basketball player, was from Detroit, wasn't really pushing basketball. I think Carroll and Vincent, Kevin Jackson and Pierre just put that in me. As, I was a role player, then I got better and I got better, but I can't tell you, man. Even to this day, within the real world and being an owner and being a coach is still a work ethic that I still want to be the best in my role, whether it's coaching, whether it's being a mentor, whether it's being an owner. And I can't really say where it came from, but it's definitely there. And there's a chip on his shoulder because I wasn't talented. That I go at certain people just because that got me to the level of success. And that's my blueprint. Yeah,
definitely, man. Yeah, you definitely were that, man. Because who like so Fox. So when you were playing, was it somebody that you patterned your game after, be it college or pro? Like somebody was like, okay, this guy has a similar game like myself. I think I want to have like a type of career like this guy had. Was it a person like that for you?
So I was blessed being under Vincent. Every time Kenny came home, that's who I worked out.
Oh man.
That wasn't a point guard, but that's who I worked out with.
Right. So
we used to go around the world. You had to make 10 in a row before you could move.
Oh, and now was that a lost battalion? You used to have to work as a lost battalion?
Lost battalion. That's where it started. And then when Kenny would come home, when I became a professional, I got to know the security guard at St. John. So I would practice at St. John's Prep. Now they show me love.
They show you love now, huh?
They gave me the keys to the gym every time I came home off season. The gym is yours.
Wow.
The gym is yours. And I really enjoyed working in that environment because that showed me where I started.
Right, where you started. Yep.
I was in St. John's Prep on draft night, not knowing I would get drafted. I was in there shooting.
Were you really?
Yes, sir.
Wow. See that work ethic gene, man. That's what it is.
But Kenny was a role model, was a mentor. My position, you had your typical Mikey, Scotty. Sean Elliott was my position. I kind of aspired to be him.
Right.
My man who passed away for the Boston Celtics, Reggie Lewis.
Reggie Lewis.
Crafty.
Yeah.
I try to take a piece of that and put in my game.
Gotcha, man. Hey, so I mentioned earlier that all those, I think it was like 10 professional teams that you played overseas with. So I'm gonna give you 3 different categories, Fox. So what was your favorite country you played in for food? Italy. Okay. All right. That makes sense.
And backstory, I got to know a gentleman who owned a restaurant. And you know how sometimes you go to countries and people only like you because you're an athlete. This dude kind of enjoyed me as a person. So I would go to the restaurant before it opened and eat with the chefs and the cooks. And what do you want today? Make my own dish. Wow. So and that Italian culture embraced me as a person. Oh, manja, eat more. And it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal.
Man, that's cool. How many years did you play in Italy? You remember?
I won a championship in Italy, then I played 2 more years, so I was there for 3.
Wow. Okay. So, what was your favorite country to play for nightlife?
Hands down. You tell me tomorrow. I got a 10-day vacation. I'm going to Israel.
Israel? Really? Israel?
Hip hop club, R&B lounge, smoke cigar bar, ambiance. Israel.
Israel was going down like that?
Son, that's what I said when I first got there. I'm thinking, the whole country is, half religious, whatever it is.
Right.
I'm in the R&B club, like, what? We is this? And then the women, the Yemenites, their skin, their hair. Oh my God, it was phenomenal.
Wow, I'm shocked to hear that one. I thought you might say Cyprus or I don't know, man.
You know how you play overseas, you get a little break in between a holiday. I wasn't going to New York. I was going to Israel, son. I was going to Israel. Like, wow, I'll see y'all the next one. I'm gonna go to Israel for this first week.
Wow. So Israel, hands down.
Hands down.
Hands down. So what about the competition?
I probably doubled back to Italy.
Okay.
It was, Adrian Archie was at Yezi. Childress was over there. Antonio was there. Alfonso Ford. Brian Oliver. Marquise Bragg. Daniel Abrams. I mean, it was, back then it was always about the import. So,
yeah.
I played with Albert Burnett from Texas, and it was just, it was tough. It was tough. And to win the championship there and play at that level was probably the highest point where I really felt like I arrived in basketball.
Wow, and, man.
Yeah, it was a good run. It was a good run.
That is cool, man. That is cool. So I got another question for you, man. I got another basketball question. Then we'll get into what you're doing now, which is some phenomenal stuff as well. So, Fox, if you could have one shot you can have back that you can take back in your playing days, what would that shot be, man?
Double overtime. Providence College. I took a baseline jumper to win it before winning the overtime, and I missed it.
Ooh.
And that would have been the icing on the cake for Rick Barnes. We ended up winning the game anyway.
Right.
That would have been just so rewarding. Hit that game at the butt. Now, when you say Providence College, they had Rob Phelps, Troy Barrows, Michael Smith, Dickie Simpkins, Abdullah, Franklin Weston. Like, they had a squad.
Yeah, definitely.
And I was just like, this is not ain't gonna stop me. It's personal.
Wow.
This
was personal. I know this is
it was personal, man. It was personal.
Man, that is okay. So you remember? You said double overtime. You remember it?
Yeah, it's a little baseline. You know, that was my spot. A little mid. I'm a mid-range. I was killing the mid-range game. It was one dribble pull-up, and I missed it.
Yeah. Yep. And Fox, you were the king of the mid-range game, man, which is a lost art nowadays.
Yeah, I be trying to educate my young kids. Like, it's either a three or a layup. Like, there's so much money to be made right here.
Yeah.
And I try to break it. You get 10 to 15 points in the mid-range. You get fouled. You get a fast break layup. You hit 1 3. You got 20 points. just like that.
Is that simple, right, Fox? That's simple.
They be like, oh, okay, old head. I was like, okay, man. Okay.
They better Google my man Fox. I don't know what they're doing.
Tropical, man. And you know I'm humble, man. I don't be dropping no backstories. I just try to come in and hit you from where you are. And as we had conversation, like, hey, man, I done done a few things. I can show you a few things, but I don't even come with that bravado, man. I know. Even when I'm teaching Orangetheory, they be like, you play basketball? I'm like, yeah, I played a little bit. You know?
Just a tad. I was okay. Man, so I got one more. I got 3 more questions for you, Fox. But I'm gonna ask you this basketball question. Can you give me your top all-time ballers from the Q Borough, from Queens? Can you do something like that?
You know, obviously, I grew up in the Kenny Anderson era.
Yeah.
You know, I grew up playing Dykeman, so Mark Jackson used to come to the run. So that was just phenomenal to watch his, you know, IQ and basketball.
Yep. Well, Mr. Couch running that deal.
You know, that's right. You know, I used to go to the workouts Saturday morning. I mean, that was sort of the foundation as well as I grew into that. And you know, I'm gonna give a shout out to the young generation. I don't know if he wasn't from Queens, but you know, I think Felipe needs a little more props to what he brings to New York. Yeah. With his style of play and that energy. I didn't really see no one like that.
Right. That's true. Yeah, that's true, man. Felipe, I mean, he had a great I don't know if you saw the 30 for 30 documentary on him, which was phenomenal, man. I didn't know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I didn't know about the man like that, but yeah, Felipe, man, yeah, he was, you know what he was, Fox? He was LeBron before LeBron in terms of like that star guy, you know?
Right.
Out of high school, man. He was that guy first, you know?
Now, I give you one that you probably don't even know. I won, remember the program used to be in Elmcore.
Yep.
So I won Elmcore. I was with, I don't know if it was called PGG Rap back then, but Ron Artest was on my team. He was in high school. Wow. Yep. So I watched him, man-child his way. I was like, oh my goodness, this ain't gonna be a problem. Yeah. So I watched him, kind of transform, the man he was. And,
definitely. Yeah, man. So I think that's 5, man. Oh, that's a good 5 there, man.
Yeah, man.
That's a problem 5 there. Yeah. On any court, any street. Yeah, man. Man, so Fox, man, I see that you're currently a franchise partner owner of 3 Orangetheory Fitness Studios in the Georgia region. So talk to us a little about how that opportunity came about for you as a franchise owner. And I gotta get the story behind the name Orangetheory Fitness. So I gotta get these stories on this. I know there has to be a story on that.
Absolutely. Boy, it's funny when I, someone I guess retired. I don't like to use the word I like to use the word re-inspired when I kind of transitioned from basketball. I never really found anything that could kind of give me that sweat. So I started off as a spin instructor. So I fell in love with that energy. I took a class. My shirt was dressed like I played, 2 full courts. He was going up and down. So that was my first introduction into training. I've always been the one training. I've never been the trainer. So I fell in love with spinning, and I had the house in Tampa. I went home for a weekend, and a good friend of mine was like, "Hey, they got this new fitness studio opened up called Orangetheory."
Now, quick question for you, Fox. Now, what exactly is spinning?
Spin is on a bicycle, a stationary bicycle.
Oh, okay.
And when you got the music, it's fire. It's fire. And I had this white dude had Jay-Z on, and I was on the bike like, the music is popping. This was Soul Cycle was just starting to come around.
Okay.
They really put an emphasis on music, being on the bike, and getting those RPMs up. And I fell in love just with that feeling of I played again, like that. Feel like drenched, you was exhausted,
right?
And that's the feeling I had when I played. When you put it, even when you worked out, dribble, 1-2 dribble moves, all that stuff. You like that feeling. So that was my first introduction in training someone, and I really enjoyed, that feeling of captivating the room, being that energized, and helping people to succeed. So I kind of fell in love with that first. I had no idea, the personal training piece behind Orangetheory, so I had to learn that and really develop the skill set on what it was to be a good coach. People got all these degrees, but they're not motivated. So I was like, I don't want to be that.
Yeah.
So long story short, they were going in a van the next day to Fort Lauderdale to meet the founder of Orangetheory, which was a young lady out of Long Island called Ellen Latham.
Okay.
And I sort of raised my hand, like, hey, can I go? Like, is it okay if I come in? He said, hey, you're going to be a potential coach? Yeah. So I went down to that, met her, understood the product and what she was trying to achieve and develop the brand. I was like, oh man, this thing's gonna be great. And then I just kind of fell into it. Really, I had no personal training experience, but I was a motivator.
Right.
So I had to get certified, had to learn, but I always knew the mechanics because I trained myself.
Absolutely, yeah, yep.
I just kind of had to put the certification on it, learn the lingo, and I just started off as a coach. I didn't really know it was going to be a career move and that I was going to invest in it and become a franchise owner. But I watched the brands go from 2, 12. To 20, to 400, to 500. I'm like, hey, this thing is moving. And then, I'm fortunate enough, I've always had good people skills, just I think from traveling in Europe and just being able to, talk to people without really knowing the language. I was teaching a brother for 3 years. He was an anesthesiologist. I didn't know. He was like, hey, man, I watched you develop this studio for 3 years. I'm thinking about buying some.
Wow.
Would you not would you come work for me, would you be a partner with me?
Man.
I thought the dude was coming out the side of his head like, yeah, all right, bro, whatever. A year went by, he's like, yo, I want the rights to build 12 in Atlanta. He sent that paper forward. I was like, yo, I'm out. What are we doing? Let's do it.
Wow, man.
So he went to Morehouse, so he knew the Atlanta area. He's a minority. They didn't take him serious in Florida when he asked to buy a license in Florida. They didn't take him serious because he was a minority. He's like, yo, I go to Atlanta. That's where I went to college. I know the area. And he asked me to be a partner.
Damn.
I embraced the opportunity, and I've been rocking with him ever since.
That is phenomenal, man. That's a good...
Right.
Man, I tell you, man.
I was struggling with my previous owner with health benefits. I'm like, yo, can we get some health benefits? My classes are packed, this and that. I'm struggling with him to get health benefits, and here, dude, watching me for 3 years, gives me a percentage, a piece of the pie,
man.
And don't work for me, work with me.
Work with me, partner up.
I'm out.
There you are, yeah.
So I have a certain bravado because I feel like I represent him.
Yep.
One, being a minority owner, but just the opportunity he gave me. So I'm trying to always give opportunities to, not to say my peoples, but just people I think are worthy.
Yeah.
Because the opportunity was given to me.
Definitely.
Now, I've got burned a few times. I've had a couple people, use me, based on where I am. But, I still believe in giving back.
Absolutely, yeah, man. When you give, man, you always get that back twofold. Nah, you're a good brother too, man. So that's no problem, man. So I got a couple people been responding. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to respond back. So we got, let's see here. So Chris says he loved Fox at St. Peter's. I did too. He used to give us the business, so we knew that. Now Chris says his man Cat Mobley, because Chris was kind of like a mentor to Cat Mobley, man, because they went to the same high school. Chris was a little,
I didn't know that. Yeah.
Cat
used to sleep on my floor in college, man.
Wow.
And you had the little VCS. I was always watching film.
Right.
And he was always in my room, breaking down film, watching.
Yep. Man, that is cool, man. Cool. My man Charlie Nelson says, great show, Russ, in the backyard, working on my lawn and listening, loving it, brother. That's cool. That's right. That's right. Because we got my man Abdul Fox. You can't help but love this. You know what I'm saying? And then Smooth says he loves the breakdown of scoring. Yep, that's you broke that down for these youngsters out here, man. Master the in between, the medium range game, man. You master that. Go to the free throw line a couple of times. Next thing you know, you got 20. You averaging 20.
And you get two or three breakaway layups.
Yep, you good.
Not hard.
Yep,
not hard.
Yep. And then Donna says, hey, Russ. Hey, Donna, how are you, Donna? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. And last, Chris says, I think Fox can still go. I think you can too, Fox. You play in these leagues or something, Fox?
Every time I play, I end up getting hurt.
Really?
So, I popped my shoulder out 2 times. I have more injuries after than I did when I played. So,
oh, man.
So, I got some young kids. When they come in the gym, I try to work out with them. Mm-hmm. I really still enjoy just picking up that ball, that nostalgia.
Yep.
And working through those drills. Like, I could do that all day,
yep.
to this day if I could. And it's just an excitement to pick it up. And then there's a while where I don't touch it. And then as soon as I'm in there and I see it, it's like, man, this used to be, all day, every day, 24/7.
Absolutely.
Where we going with it?
Yep. It's amazing, like in your journey too, Fox. It's amazing how that orange ball took you around the world and opportunities. You ever think like that sometimes? I know I do, man.
Sometimes I speak at high schools, right, middle schools, and I try to educate them. I'm on my 3rd passport because there's nowhere to stamp.
Wow.
And then put a relevance to, I'm from this little neighborhood in Queens, New York.
Yep.
I didn't really know that basketball could give me this opportunity to see the world and obviously play at a high level. That was just a plus. So when I look back, I was like, I couldn't even imagine that it would do the things that it's done for me. And just building me as a person, dealing with success, dealing with failure, trying to understand what it is to be a professional. What does that mean? What does that look like? Yeah. No one who gave us that blueprint, Russ? No one gave us that blueprint.
No one did, man. No one did, man. Now, and like a guy like yourself, Fox, you such a student of the game, man. Here you are breaking down films, in the gym, working hard, getting it, from a guy who was like warming the bench to like where you are and what you did and what you accomplished, man. Just absolutely crazy, man. But it goes back to your work ethic. That's why I'm glad you expounded on that too, man. Because, it's nothing like that work ethic gene, man, that'll get you over the top in anything you do.
Man, I had the pleasure of just working with an AAU team that came through. In the first week, Russ, I didn't know how to conversate because I'm watching the work ethic that's doing with drills that have nothing to do with basketball. And I didn't understand. I couldn't figure out the approach because I couldn't understand it.
Right.
And then when I finally spoke, their mouth dropped because I've been holding it in for weeks, watching them go through drills. I was like, how do I approach these kids to understand? Like, this is not it, my man.
Right.
You're walking into a gym that has everything: weights, basketball court, Vertimax, turf. And y'all giving me this kind of effort, bro? I used to take 2 trains.
Yep.
To get to the gym. Like, I couldn't understand. It took me a while to even be able to have a conversation to find the right approach. Because I was like, I can't understand where this workout is coming from. But then, you figure out how can you push and pull with them to best understand that you can offer them something. So it took me a while to just even understand how to conversate. Because I was like, bro, this is not it.
Yep.
This is not it.
Yeah, man. It's just...
When you want to go to Duke, you want to go to North Carolina. Oh, I just want to go D1. Y'all got these high expectations.
I know, right? Yeah, right? Yeah, I'm with you on that, Fox. Yeah, right. Duke, North Carolina. Hey, just give me a Division I scholarship. I'm good with that.
That was it, that was it. I'll take the rest from there.
Yep, absolutely, man. And Fox, I'm gonna leave you out on this one, man. So, is there one piece of advice you can share, or you can give a person like myself, a person who's out of shape, a former ball player, and currently has 2 replaced knees? Like, is there any piece of advice you can give me as a fitness coach, as that legend, basketball legend, as my brother from Queens, is there any advice that you could give a guy like me, a washed up cat with two knee replacement surgeries? What advice could you give me in terms of fitness, man? Because I need something there, Fox.
So this is not a plug, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I tried to tell Jason Hoover, I tried to tell Jamal 8 years ago about this Orangetheory. I really tried to paint a picture. I'm in from the ground up. Not that I have clout, but I can kind of help navigate you to get into this industry, I would call it, the fitness industry. So I just had my older brother, who I haven't seen since my years at St. Peter's, 10 years. He finally took his first class. And it's an environment where you go at your own pace and you can be successful. Now, when you say your knees, the treadmills are designed on what we call flex deck technology.
Okay.
They give. So it's a lot different than running on the concrete.
Okay, so treadmill.
And you can walk. Some people walk, some people run, some people jog. So it's intimidating from the outside looking in. I get it. But if I can get any of my peoples to a first class, it's over. Because you, as an athlete, you understand, okay, I'm pushing to myself. I'm not worried about nobody else.
Right.
And it's an environment where my biggest play is this music involved. So if I can get you rocking the Jay-Z, you forgetting you working out, and you picking up the beats per minute, you're not even realizing that you're working that hard.
Wow, man.
Then I throw in comedic involvement, engagement, friend atmosphere, where you're having fun, you're getting to know the person next to you, they got 2 kids, they got a dog, their son plays hockey. Now all of a sudden that environment is your environment for the next hour, and you get to leave the outside world outside for an hour.
Man. So, man.
When I try to paint that picture to people, and I can get them, Black African Americans, we don't like cardio, we got diabetes, we got high cholesterol. This isn't a perfect ingredient to help you sustain your life. Because the key to your cardiovascular health is your heart. That's the main thing we work on.
So cardiovascular.
We're not doing Olympic style lifting, we're not doing a million pull-ups. It's cardiovascular health. That's the key to longevity. So when we talk about Orangetheory, my beef with corporate is they're not putting enough of these in minority neighborhoods. They got the guap for it, but they going up in suburbians. So as a minority, I'm always pushing, okay, when can we BLM, when can we figure out how this thing can help the Black community or the less fortunate communities? Because you got the money for it, and you got the technology with your heart rate monitor being tracked with technology where you can prove people are getting healthier.
Yeah.
It's the perfect ingredient, Russ. There was none in New York when I was trying to get my people to invest. Now they're in Midtown, Long Island, they're everywhere, bro.
Wow. Man.
I was trying to tell these cats 8 years ago, like, yo, this thing is moving, yo. Come in with me. Come become a coach. Come become a studio manager. I got a little pool. I can kind of point you. Nah, bro, we good. I said, okay, man. Okay.
Now look at it now. Man, look at my man Fox now. Man. Hey, we got Donna. Donna says true. She says DMX will give you 35 more minutes on the ethical, I think it is, or the elliptical, I think it is. So Donna knows that.
Man, we don't like, no one's really, not that we don't like, no one's really educated on the benefit of fitness and exercise, you know, and again, I tell people I'm not that trainer, I'm not watching your I eat because I know I work out. Like, you want to eat some fried chicken, I'm going to eat it, but I know I'm going to work out 2 hours later.
Right.
So I'm not that coach that's really going to be into your, okay, you got to eat this and that. I say, yo, let me just get you here exercising first. We can work on that other stuff. But if you're going to eat that way, at least exercise to balance it out. Man, my people's only want to hear me. You know?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So, you know, I'm excited when I get someone, I'm like, listen, it's a journey, but let me help you. This thing can really change lives. Because my first letter or response was someone said, hey, you really impacted my life. That's when I found out that, hey, this is not a bad industry to be in. And it really made sense to me because I was helping people. And I've been, you know, I'm an owner. I still coach, you know, because I enjoy that mic. And I enjoy just being in that environment and helping people be successful.
Yeah, I can see you getting out there, Fox. I can see you, man.
So So with that being said, the next time I come home, we need to go to a class.
All right. I'll be a part of it. I'll do that. I'll lace him up.
Man. The same thing my brother said, man. He's like, I'll go. And I said, once you go, you see it's really not that intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's, borderline diabetic and, a little bit overweight. I said, bro, it takes the thinking out of it. They do everything for you. You just got to show up. But I can't get people to show up. That's the first step.
Well, I tell you what, Fox, I will show up. Next time you're here, next time you're in New York, I will show up. I'm there.
I'm headed, it's funny, I'm headed to Rhode Island. I think August, we got a little reunion. I was like, no, listen, y'all niggas need to come to class. So it was like, yo, we'll do it. Because they got some in Rhode Island. I said, yo, we need to go to class. We need to see what this is about. And a couple cats agreed to do it. So we're all going to meet, and then I'm going to try to get them all to class.
Man, and for sure, Fox, you're going to get that call for Hall of Fame at Rhode Island. Come on, man. With the story you just told about all these guys you helped tutelage and, tutor and all this nonsense. Nah, man. A G in 3 years. Come on, man. You're going to get the call. That call's coming soon, man. So just be ready for that, man. Just make sure you pick up the phone on that one, man. And Al Skinner might be calling you on that one, too. But that's all right. That's all right. You know what I mean?
And it's funny. I try to make my amends, as you get older, wiser,
sure.
And stuff. And when he was at BC, they played, I think the first round or the second round of the tournament was in Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
So he left me tickets, I played Muhammad. I didn't really see him. He was in Kennesaw, in Georgia. I saw him once.
Right.
But, I tried to, do my part.
Yeah.
It was tough, man. It was tough.
Yeah.
As a minority, you think you got that father figure of someone who's going to break it down for you. Okay, this is the next step. This is what you need to do.
Right.
Be in the gym at 5, be in the gym. If someone would have told me that, Russ, I would have did it.
Yeah, I know.
Like I worked, but when I listened to Kobe, I said I worked, but I didn't really work that much. But if I had someone that's kind of help me understand, hey, you're there, but you're really not there. Okay, what I need to do?
Yep.
What I need to do?
Yep. Definitely, man. My man Chris says, my man Fox, I'm ready to work out.
Let's go, baby. I'm coming to Philly. I'm coming to Philly.
Oh.
Coming to Philly, Chris.
Yep. Oh, okay.
Don't play with my emotions.
No. Don't play with my emotions, Smokey. Don't do it. My man Fox, Hey, Fox, how can people get in contact with you, man? Can people get in contact with you at all?
Yeah. I'm on Facebook. It's my name.
Okay.
IG is AFox2525. If you want to put my number in comments, it's 813.
Okay. Cool.
417-2102. I ain't hiding from nobody. I ain't dogging nobody. I'm just a brother trying to do good things for my time on this earth.
Absolutely. My man Fox, my man Abdul Fox, my man, my brother, my Queen's brother. Oh, man, it was a joy to hear from you, man. I mean, hey, man, I had to, your bio took up 10 minutes, you know what I mean? So that means you moving and shaking, doing your thing, man. But
it's just a blessing to see you create a platform.
Thank you, man.
For honest conversation, for cats that may need a voice. It's great. We move in so many sizes and shapes, and we can do so many things, man. So I'm thankful for you to create a platform, not only for me, but for what you're doing, man. It's phenomenal. It's awesome.
Hey, Fox, man, I appreciate you, brother, man. Thank you, man. I love you, man. We're gonna be in touch. And again, when you touch down to NY, look me up. I'm gonna lace him up. I'm gonna give it my best. I'm gonna give it my all with my 2 knees, 2 replaced knees. But we're gonna make it happen because I know my man Fox is gonna inspire me to get through it. I know that.
Say no more.
All right, Fox. I'll be in touch, brother.
Be safe.
Okay, you too, my man. All right, later. Oh, man, my man Abdul Fox. Man, oh, man. You heard it here, man. This guy is a basketball legend, man. Is a franchisee, partner, man, for Orangetheory Fitness. Oh, man, Studios, man. This guy's doing his thing, man. Pleasure having my man on board. Pleasure having him on board. Man, oh, man. Hey, so, ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army, if we were able to make you laugh, smile, or think during this broadcast, my good friends, you have accomplished something major. So celebrate your victory. Celebrate your victory today here, especially on Transition Tuesdays, as I play my theme music for us to head out soon. See what we got. Well, we're not playing. Hold on a second. Come on, let's see it. Come on, let me hear it. Let me hear it. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Oh, theme music. Oh man, what a blast. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for you watching Transition Tuesdays each and every Tuesday here. And if you need to, and if you haven't seen past episodes or today's episode I'm going to post, you can always go to our YouTube channel, which is Transition Tuesdays. Type that in. And when you're in there, when you're on the channel, like it and subscribe, okay? Very much so. I would appreciate it if you do that. And also, if you need, or if you haven't followed me, follow me on Instagram on All World Transitions. That's All World Transition. So, you know, love for you to do that as well. And so again, I have a thank you shout out to my man Abdul Fox for joining us today, man. Dropping jewels. He's giving us exclusives on Transition Tuesday. So man, Abdul, man, blessings to you, brother. Thank you for coming on, man. And also, oh, I'll be remiss. I got to do this, guys. My Aunt Maggie is celebrating her birthday today. So here's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to try this before we sign off. I'm going to give my aunt a call live and see if I can reach her to celebrate her birthday. Give her a birthday shout. Let's see if I can call her, see if she'll pick up. Come on, Aunt Maggie. Hope she'll pick up so I can sing to my aunt for her birthday. See what we got here. My Aunt Maggie, one of my favorite aunts. See what we got. Come on, Aunt Maggie. Aunt Maggie, this is your nephew Russ on Transition Tuesdays. You are live, sweetheart. I wanted to, huh?
Favorite nephew, how are you doing?
Oh, I appreciate that, Aunt Maggie. But listen, I'm calling because I want to wish you a happy birthday, and I want to sing to you. Do you mind if I sing to you? Do you mind?
Oh,
okay.
No, indeed.
Okay, I'm gonna attempt to. Okay, here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Aunt Maggie. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Oh, no problem. So, Aunt Maggie, so do you want to, how old are you today? Do you want to give your age? And I hope you do, because it is a blessing with the age you are.
I am 90 years old today.
You're 90 years old today?
Yes.
Oh, my.
90 years old.
Man, Aunt Maggie, that is such a blessing, man. I'm glad you're sharing that with us. And, you know, and I can contest to this, ladies and gentlemen. My Aunt Maggie is 90 and fly. She still keeps it fly. You know, she cooks up a great meal. She keeps it fly. Aunt Maggie, how do you do that?
And I drive, and I'm just doing wonderful.
Yep, you're driving and everything. Oh, man. That is great, Aunt Maggie. So, Aunt Maggie, I just want to just call you just to, you know, wish you a happy birthday and serenade you as well. You know, you're such a blessing in my life, sweetheart. And, you know, I just had to call you live. I had to celebrate one of my favorite aunts. I had to do that.
Well, thank you so much. You're my favorite nephew.
Oh, thank you, Aunt Maggie. I appreciate it. The check's in the mail for you. All right, Aunt Maggie. But no, wishing you a happy 90 more. And I love you, sweetheart. So thank you so much, okay?
Love you so much, and I'll go to the mailbox.
Yeah. Look for that check. It'll be a check for $90 also.
Okay, well, thank you so much for calling. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome, Aunt Maggie. Love you.
Love you too.
Okay, bye-bye.
Have a good evening.
Okay, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, man, ladies and gentlemen, that is a first day. I got to continue my theme music with that one. Man, my Aunt Maggie celebrating her 90th birthday today, so happy birthday to her. Man, oh, man, all the people celebrating birthdays as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army, as we say in party, happy transitioning, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care, everybody. God bless.